This is the Montre Black. Today we're gonna react to a death battle. Deadpool versus The Mask. Let's watch.
Happy holidays from Rooster Teeth! Go to the Rooster Teeth store!
You sure this is gonna work? This will shut him up for good?
Trust me, it's the perfect plan.
Okay, then let's get started.
To most of us, the laws of reality are unbending rules we never question.
Even for us, but for some people, they're more like guidelines.
Such as Deadpool, Marvel's merc with a micro penis.
And The Mask, a total Chad who just oozes big dick energy.
Huh, could have sworn that would get his attention.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win.
My third death battle? Ha! Wait, what was that about a micro penis?
Every famous superhero has a special something which makes them recognizable. Some are gothic knights of darkness, a showcase of order versus chaos. Some are instantly relatable, a prime example of an average person in a not-so-average world.
And some are shoved in your face over and over and over again until you just can't take it anymore.
Oh, shucks. Are you talking about me? You're such a sweet talker.
Go away.
We've been through this, but why stop a good thing? Hi, I'm Wade Wilson, masterful mercenary and twice robbed of winning People Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive award. Way back, I got stuck in a seriously shitty situation called cancer. The worst supervillain. But then the good folks of Department K offered me a cure. Sounded great. Until I learned the big plot twist.
Department K was actually a sect of the Weapon X program, a top-secret project for crafting super soldiers by any means necessary.
They shot Wade up with 50 cc's of hot, creamy Wolverine juice. It gave him the same crazy healing factor, but also turned his face into an improv comedy prompt.
You look like an avocado. Had sex with an older, more disgusting avocado.
Yeah. After escaping in gruesome fashion, Wade resumed his life as a mercenary, taking the name Deadpool.
He's got your standard superhuman buffs. Super strength, super speed, super toughness, the works. But he put that super swagger to use as an expert martial artist. Though it's hard to tell sometimes because he lets himself get hit a lot.
Hey, when you have a healing factor that would make even Logan's nuclear charred adamantium skeleton blush, you let yourself nosh on a lead sandwich every once in a while. I've survived gunshot wounds, impalement, organ destruction, subification, and even freaking disintegration. Good luck trying to take me out.
Don't take all the credit for yourself. You know you were cursed with everlasting life by Thanos during some of that.
Yeah, well, me and Space Grimace have a really deep relationship. About as deep as I am and his girlfriend. Hey-oh!
Good thing Thanos removed the curse so we could violently murder you.
An impulse I deeply empathize with.
Well, as much as I like getting resurrected after that, I like doing the opposite to other people even more. As in killing them. With weapons, especially my lovely Golden Girls, Bee and Arthur.
That would be his katanas, which are almost unbreakable thanks to an energy field from his suit. Fully charged, they can even cut the Hulk.
Even then, Deadpool is a walking arsenal with enough machine guns, sniper rifles, grenades, rocket launchers, tranquilizers, etc. to take out a small country.
And if I'm feeling cute, I might delete you later with any one of the wacky weapons of mass destruction I picked up on my misadventures. Like a gun that wipes you from history, the actual Venom symbiote, and the seventh Infinity Stone, the Continuity Gem. It rewrites canon itself and could even make Wizard Boomstick bearable co-hosts. I mean, maybe.
Oh yeah? Well, let's go over some of these feats of yours. Take it away, Wiz.
With pleasure. Deadpool has showcased his impressive super strength when, at one point, he stood up straight, without aid. Based on Deadpool's cannon weight and examining the distribution of mass here, we can deduce his legs can support 210 pounds, or just under 100 kilograms.
What?
Whoa, or how about the time he held up this pistol? That's a Desert Eagle Mark 19, which weighs 72 whole ounces. Amazing!
Guys, what the hell? You know I can kick people through concrete walls and yank around a 6-ton helicopter, right?
Here we can see him running, much like typical human beings run. and the average male running speed is about 9.4 kilometers per hour.
Hey, I was out running a goddamn airplane. Do you know how fast airplanes are? Jesus H. Christ almighty, do some research for once, you frauds.
Jokes aside, Deadpool can move faster than the eye can track. He's caught Captain America's shield, which Cap can throw fast enough to slice through tanks. He's even dodged the electric-powered mutant Surge's lightning blasts. If these are anything like the leaders of real lightning, they could be moving over 98,000 meters per second.
Deadpool's a tough son of a bitch, too. He's survived a sunburn from a freaking space laser, getting crushed under the Chrysler building, and an explosion that cratered an entire city block. Just look at the size of that!
Measuring the crater's volume and applying statistics for pulverization of rock, the explosion must have equaled about 130 tons of TNT.
That's like getting hit in the face with 22 monster trucks driving at top speed, all at the same time.
But Deadpool isn't perfect. Far from it, obviously. Unlike Wolverine, his chemically induced healing factor isn't a natural evolution, and so it seriously damaged his brain. Which explains a lot.
This guy isn't just annoying as balls. He's legit insane. Talk about a terrible combination.
Well, Deadpool's insanity leads him to talk to seemingly invisible people. Namely, the writers and editors of each comic book he's in.
I mean, is it really insanity if it's true? That's even how he got rid of the continuity gem, by literally handing it over to the editors.
While his broken mind and daredevil attitude makes him incredibly unpredictable, it can often put him in over his head. Plus, while his healing factor is quite potent, it's not an instant quick fix.
That's why he prefers to reattach his limbs rather than wait for them to regrow.
Am I crazy? Or is your head really small?
That's not pleasant.
His biggest weakness, though, is that he's a dumb internet meme and he should feel bad about it.
And using this mathematical formula, taking account of Deadpool's abundance in media, we can quantify exactly how dumb he is.
You know, I've done this death battle bullshit 3 times now, and can I just say, I hope you douchebags never change. I love it. I'll be over there chomping on popcorn and chimichangas while your heads explode trying to figure out how I could possibly lose this one. Toodles.
Good riddance.
Deadpool may be an annoying clown who has menaced Marvel's good and bad sides for decades, but he's also had sex with my mom over 100 times and made her moan like, hey, who changed the prompter? Come back here, you son of a bitch!
Psychologist Carl Jung once described the persona as a kind of mask, designed on the one hand to make a definite impression on others, and on the other to conceal the true nature of the individual.
Right.
Basically, who we are on the inside is different than who we are on the outside. But what if putting on a mask could actually reveal what was underneath it?
Underneath the mask? You mean your face?
I don't even know how to start to answer that.
Use your mouth, it's on your face. Well, while Wiz is trying to figure out how masks work, dumbass, let's talk about one mask in particular. The mask.
Its origins are shrouded in mystery. Some say it was used as part of an African tribal ritual. Others say it was created by Loki, the Norse god of mischief.
Who knows and who cares? It wound up in the hands of Stanley Ipkiss, the schlubbiest, dorkiest loser this side of Deadpool.
Regenerating degenerates have feelings too, you know.
Curious, Stanley donned the mask and was transformed from an everyman to a Superman.
Cokehead!
And now he's a big green cartoon character the media dubbed Big Head.
But you can just call him the Mask. With his newfound powers, Stanley would take on the mob, get the girl, and live happily ever after. Right?
Don't let the family movie fool you. Sorry, movies. I always forget that second one.
Don't blame you. This ain't your silly Steamboat Willie shenanigans. Get ready for some good old-fashioned hardcore violence.
See, the mask itself is alive, and it desires nothing more than absolute carnage. By tapping into its wearer's repressed id, it can turn a nebbish nobody like Stanley into a rampaging serial killer.
Complete with Bugs Bunny powers. Horrifying.
Metafictional combat scientists like myself have long speculated about a unifying theory that could explain the source of the mask's power. We call this phenomenon Toon Force. Think of characters such as Bugs Bunny, Popeye, and Michael Jordan. A being that wields Toon Force seems capable of accomplishing almost anything they desire, so long as they find it humorous. With this power, the mask can manipulate the laws of physics whenever he likes, even breaking the fourth wall.
Oh, God, no. He can break it too. You never said anything about that, and now we've got two of them.
Don't forget about me!
Two of them.
Regardless, Toon Force allows the mask to summon any kind of weapon imaginable from thin air.
Everything from oversized guns and rocket launchers to whoopee cushions, dynamite, anvils, hell, anything from the good fellas at Acme.
Toon Force users can manipulate their bodies in any way they like, whether it be stretching their limbs, inflating themselves like a balloon, or shape-shifting into giant monsters.
And best of all, you can't really hurt a Toon. Well, at least not in a normal way.
Right, it's not that the mask has a specific healing factor or some such. It's more like he can just say no to damage.
He's had holes blown in him, had his head cut off, stripped his own flesh from his bones, and was blown up into a bloody pulp. He can outpace Lobo, remember him? Because he doesn't need to wait for his body to heal. It just happens.
However, the scariest thing about the mask's use of Toon Force is how it affects the world around him. In most cases, the rules of Toon Force are applied to the user and whomever or whatever the force is affecting.
This even happens in the movie. Man, look at her go.
But in the true canon of the mask, this is not the case. And this leads to some, well, horrific imagery. The mask can pick up cars and knock over buildings with ease. He can dodge point-blank bullets and run fast enough to set the ground on fire. He has survived massive explosions, giant robots, and being kicked in the testicles so hard he flew.
Out of all the gore in those comics, that is the worst thing I've seen yet. But remember what we said before about him fighting Lobo? The guy who ate a city?
At one point, Lobo and the mask raced around the entire planet several times in the span of just a few seconds, and then crashed into each other in an absolutely gargantuan blast. Based on their after-trail rings, and given an estimated time frame of less than half a minute, which fits given the context, they must have been going over 9 million meters per second.
What a couple of scamps.
There's only one way to really stop the mask, and that's by removing the mask itself.
Good luck trying. The only way is if the wearer has already decided to let it come off. And with the power it gives, who'd want to?
Technically, the conscience of the person the mask possesses still exists, and could be reasoned with or tricked into removing the mask.
Like when Lobo threw a guilt bomb at him after he murdered hundreds of people.
But the mask itself has an astronomically powerful influence on its host.
Right. I mean, who doesn't like letting loose every once in a while? We've covered a lot of vicious murderers on the show, but I've never seen one who has as much fun with it as the mask.
Let's rock this joint!
Alright, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
But first, I've got a hunger for some.
I swear if you cut the commercial, I'll strangle you both with an actual blue apron.
By now, you've probably heard of Blue Apron, the leading meal kit delivery service in the U.S.
Choose your meals each week, get the ingredients delivered to your doorstep, and whip up a meal using the easy-to-follow directions provided.
Blue Apron offers plenty of different menu options with an ever-changing mix of meat, fish, plant-forward, and vegetarian recipes, even if you don't know the difference between a kettle and a saucepan.
It's a great way to whip up whatever you want for your meals, even stuff you never thought you could make at all. My favorite part is feeling like a master chef, making creative and delicious meals with my own hands. You guys really need to try it out.
It's pretty nice coming home knowing I'll have a delicious meal I can whip up with ease.
Are you ready to start making some magic in the kitchen? You gotta try this out.
Blue Apron believes cooking matters. Don't have it delivered, pre-cooked, or picked up. Cook it one a week, once a month, or at least once more than you do now.
Check out this week's menu and get $60 off when you visit blueapron.com/battle.
That's blueapron.com/battle. Blue Apron. Just cook.
But right now, it's time for a death battle!
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got in this mess. But there's only enough funding for a few minutes of animation, so we're skipping that part.
Okay!
All right, Majora's Mistake. You've got one chance to take that off. Penis metaphor!
Ooh, nice one, the mask.
Got it. Actually, that's not canon. Let's just say I know the right people. With this continuity jam, I can rewrite anything I think needs fixing. I could stop Hitler from being born, rewrite the Star Wars prequels, or even make you take off that mask. No! This is over. Oh, wow! You weren't kidding! Ah, beans, we're in the storyboards! Old chum, I think that zany stunt of yours ran out the budget. Can't make the scene if you don't have the green. Lucky for you, I have an idea! Ah, that's it. Honey bun, we're good to go. What? Where'd you get that? Oh, Jack, I'm already wearing it. Look at the sky. He isn't me. Although the internet thinks he might be. Perhaps I've gone too far, far from my reality. I'll do this right. I'm not a joke. What even is a chimichanga?
Ooh. Who's gonna win?
Fuck you. Indeed. Who's next?
KO! Yes, he's gone! He's finally gone! He can never bother us again! Why don't I feel as awesome as I should?
To be fair, given his more robust history, Deadpool held a solid advantage in experience and skill. He was relatively smarter and more, mentally put together in comparison. So it's possible he could have outsmarted the Mask, if given the chance.
Yes, if that chance was never gonna come. He had some really cool feats of strength and speed, but the Mask blew him out of the water. Like, who cares that Deadpool pulled around a 6-ton copter when the Mask knocked over a building weighing over 1,000 tons? And comparing their speed, he's 100 times faster too. Like, there's no contest.
Not to mention the size of the blast from the Mask and Lobo's collision equals 322 teratons of TNT, trillions of times greater than Deadpool's asteroid feat.
Whiz stuff, none of that matters. It is stupid. We pit Deadpool against a cartoon god. Like you said, the Mask could just say no to damage. Deadpool couldn't even really hurt him. This whole thing was a blowout. Total stump.
No, I mean, I guess you're right. We're supposed to be impartial, and we went too far. But Boomstick, it's too late to change it.
There's no way to mask what we've done.
The winner is...
What the hell?
Dear Wiz and Boomstick, I know our relationship has been a rocky one, but I just wanted to say, thanks. Thanks for helping me rediscover who I am. Who I really am. The past decade of memes and cosplays and Hot Topic shirts changed me. And I couldn't see it on my own. It made me remember my true self, missing feet and all. And with some help from this royalty-free Sarah McLachlan ripoff song, I hope you can find in your hearts your true selves too. Sayonara, Death Battle. Sayonara.
I can't believe I'm saying this, Wiz, but I wish he was still around.
Yeah, me too. Oh no!
Oh, yeah! The winner is me!
If you like this death battle, give a thumbs up and I will see you on my next reaction. This has been the Montre Black. Peace.